is the anniversary of Upanishad. No, Upadeshamrita. Upadeshamrita. Yeah. Yeah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hey Gopi Janabalaba Girivara Dari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Jamuna Tira Banat Chari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janabalaba Girivara Dari. Jaya Gopi Janabalaba Girivara Dari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Jamuna Tira Banna Chari. Jamuna Tira Banna Chari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Shri Radha Madhava Astasaki ki jai. Chaitanya Chandradaya Mandir ki jai. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devyam Sarasvatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, Chapter 51, The Deliverance of Muchakunda, text number 56. Okay. Tasmad Vishvidya Shishya Isha Sarvato. Tasmad Vishvidya Shishya Isha Sarvato. Rajas Tamah Savaguna Nubandana. Rajas Tamah Satvaguna Nubandana. Niranjanam Nirgunam Advayam Param. Tvam jñapti matram purusham vrajam miyaham. Tvam jnapti matram purusham vrajamyaham. Tasma vishvijya shishya isha sarvato. Rajas tamas sattvagunanubandha. Niranjanam niguna advayam param. Tvam jnapti matam purusham vrajamyaham. Boliye. Tasma vishvishram sayesha sarvato. Rajastama sabagunanubandana. Niranjanam nirgunam advayam param. Tvam jnapti matam purusham vrajamyaham. Tasma vishvijya shishayesha sarvato. Rajastama sattvagunanubandana. Niranjanam nirgunam advayam param. Tam yapi mattam purusham vrajamyaham. Tasma vishvishya shishya esha sarvato. Rajastama sattvamuganubandana. Niranjanam nirgunam advayam param. Tvam jnapti matam purusham vrajamyaham. Tasmat, therefore, vishrijya, putting aside, ahishya, boy, ashishyaha. The first S is in the throat, and the second S is palatal. Palatal. Ahishyaha. Wow, desirable objects. Isha, O Lord, sarvataha, entirely. Rajaha, with passion. Tamaha, ignorance. Sattva, and goodness. Guna, the material modes. Anu, bandhanaha, entangled. Niranjanam, free from mundane designations. Nirgunam, transcendental to the material modes. Advayam, non-dual. Param, supreme. Tvam, you. Jnapti, matram, pure knowledge. Okay, pure knowledge. Yeah. Purusham, the original person. Vrajami, am approaching. Aham, I. Okay. Tasmad Vishrijya Shishya Ishya Sarvato Rajas Tamasa Bhagunanubandanaha Niranjanam Nirgunam Advayam Param Tvam Jñapti Matram Purusham Vrajamyaham. Translation. Therefore, O Lord, having put aside all objects of material desire, which are bound to the modes of passion, ignorance, and goodness, I am approaching you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for shelter. You are not covered by mundane designations. Rather, you are the Supreme Absolute Truth, full in pure knowledge and transcendental to the modes of material nature. Please repeat. Therefore, O Lord, having put aside all objects of material desire, which are bound to the modes of passion, ignorance, and goodness, I am approaching you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for shelter. You are not covered by mundane designations. Rather, you are the Supreme Absolute Truth, full in pure knowledge and transcendental to the material modes. Why? So Muchakunda is saying quite a lot about the person standing in front of him, and he says he's given up all objects of material desire. That's quite a bit, because there are quite a few of them. There are quite a few. So he's given them all up. Okay, purport by Srila Prabhupada, actually Hridaya Mars. Yeah. The word nirgunam here indicates the Lord's existence, nirgunam, is beyond the qualities of material nature. One might argue that Lord Krishna, according to Krishna's body, is made of material nature. But here the words nirguna, advayam, refutes that argument. There is no duality in Lord Krishna's existence. His eternal spiritual body is Krishna, and Krishna is God. Okay? So we're in very ontological discussion. And then one more verse, finish it here. Okay? Now. Chiram iha vrijinartas tapumano nutapayar avitrishna shat amitro labda shanti katanchit sharananda samupetas twat padabjam paratmam abhayam ritam ashokampahi mapanam isham. For so long I have been pained by troubles in this material world, having been burning with lamentation. My 6 enemies are never satiated, and I can find no peace. Therefore, O giver of shelter, O Supreme Soul, please protect me. O Lord, in the midst of danger, I have by good fortune approached your lotus feet, which are the truth, and which thus make one fearless and free from sorrow. For a long time I have been pained by troubles in this world. Does that remind you of anybody else? Any other character in the Bhagavatam said that? Queen Kunti said that. She said, "Oh my son, O Lord Kapila, I am always being irritated by this sensual agitation, from time immemorial, life immemorial, and not just like my tongue is agitating me, or my stomach is agitating me, or my nose is agitating me, but they come in combinations, right? We have a combination of sense agitation when we see a beautiful chocolate cake with white flowers squirted on it and a nice cherry right in the middle. Does that agitate you, that description? Little bittersweet, okay? And some cream inside of it, okay? And a cup of coffee afterwards with a little cream. And then after that, some seltzer water. And then go dancing with Juana or Teresa or who else we got? Francois. Yeah, yeah. So it comes in combinations based upon the mind. The mind is able to put the combinations of the sense experiences together and then generate some kind of thing, some sensuous reality, cake. Okay. So Devahuti says this, and then also Queen Kunti, I think something says basically the same thing, And well, all of Maya's pleasures are temporary. Right? She has anything she can offer you which is eternal. Okay? Yeah. So why should we be attracted? Because she has an unlimited number of them. one, growth. What's it called? Birth, appearance, growth, maintenance, diminishing, and disappearance. What the 6 phases are. All these are there. You go into Baskin Robbins, you look around, and what am I going to get? Okay, then the idea is born. Oh, I'm going to have a banana split with chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry ice cream with marshmallow. What else we got? Cherry and toffee topping with a few, what do you call these things? Splintered almonds on it. Yeah, okay. He's got his own thing. Okay, yeah. So it's being born, and you watch the guy. Watch the fellow creating it. Yeah, there we go. Watch the fellow, making it, putting it all together, and then we're enjoying it. But then after a while, it starts to irritate our stomach. We start to get a little nausea from the thing, and then it's finished. Yeah. So okay, what's next? Okay, well now I'll go ride my bicycle, and maybe that will take care of the nausea in my stomach. Yeah. So one after another. One time I remember somebody asked me, I'll ask you right there, Sarvabhauma, which do you like more, 2-door or 4-door cars? 4-door. My mind was going 2-door, 4-door, 4-door, 4. Then my intelligence said, hey, you don't like cars. Oh yeah, right, yeah. So Prabhupada says in material life means to always be confronted with different situations that have nothing to do with us, right? What kind of shirts do you like? I'm not a shirt. I'm not a car. Yeah. I'm not this body. Yeah. Which parts of the Bhagavatam do you like? There's some things in the Bhagavatam you like. Dhritarashtra talking to Vidura? Dhritarashtra. Okay. I like the Uddhava Gita, first part where Uddhava is remembering Krishna. Yeah, different things you like and stuff. And one thing I know is that as soon as you start discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, picking out one chapter, it'll become relishable. It'll become interesting. Yeah. Even though though I haven't got that taste when I start, I know, once we start and get into it, it'll be nice. Yeah. And unlimitedly, 20 minutes of kirtan, 20 minutes of reading, 20 minutes of japa. And after that, 20 minutes of kirtan, 20 minutes of reading, 20 minutes of japa. Then after that, the hours just go by in the association of devotees. And then it's midnight, and it's time for, to have a little prasadam, and then again. So there's so many ways. Sankhya Purvaka Nama Gana Natabi Kalavasane Krito Vande Rupa Sanatano Raguyago Tijiva Gopalako. Sankhya, they were dividing up. Purvaka, Sankhya, Purvaka, Nama. Yeah. Their time was divided up between chanting the names, Sankhya, Purvaka, Nama, Gana, singing songs, Sankhya, Purvaka, Nama, Gana, Natabi, and dancing. Cha-cha-cha, cha-cha-cha, dum, da-dum, da-dum, dum, dum. Cha-cha, I think it's more rumba. Yeah. There are ragas, different ragas, and you see, if you turn on a Mexican radio station, right? You'll get different ragas than you have on the American station. You'll get salsa and things like that. And actually, it's usually more alert, more like sharp, more like, what's the word, like alert than American radio stations and stuff. So all these different tastes, ragas, all a part of ever increasing permanently existing spiritual life. Again, the spiritual world is like a Disneyland that's only about 20% finished. Yeah. And everybody's thinking, oh, we can do that, we can do that. Do you ever go some camping sometime with devotees or something, go to some forest retreat, some program like that? We did it sometimes in Santa Cruz. It's right over the hill from San Francisco. And there's a place called Henry Cowell Park. And it's about 400 acres of original growth redwood trees. When they came to California, the gold rush was one rush. The other one was the redwood trees. These things were big enough that one tree was big enough to construct an entire three-story house. So they started chopping them down, floating them down to San Francisco and selling them. And of course, how old are these trees? 100 years. I was walking by Chaitanya's house. He just cut a tree down there because it was going to fall on the house. And I counted the rings. How many rings do you think it was? Huh? 35. The 35-year-old tree. Yeah. It's big. Yeah. So these redwood trees, how old are they? 2,000. Some of them are there when Jesus Christ was going on with his pastimes. Yeah. And how tall are they? 5 stories, 10 stories. Up to 40 stories tall. You can put one of those things right downtown Houston and be standing up looking at the buildings. Yeah. And they haven't got deep roots. No? They have to grow together because their roots grab each other and they make it like a mat. And it's impossible for them to lift the water up to the branches. So they have to exist where it's very, very foggy, and they take water. So it's very interesting. It's like they've been there so long doing nothing, just meditating. Prabhu, I just want to have a good nap. Like Muchakunda, okay, 2,000 years sitting there eating sunshine and everything else. Yeah. So when we go there, it's a very nice place. You have very, very nice retreats, and all the devotees who come. Everybody thinking, well, what are we going to do? They give you a camp table, a locker, and 2 parking spaces. And if you want to have extra parking spaces, there's a bigger area. So we would get 4, 5, 6, 8 devotees there. Very inexpensive, very nice. And actually, it's just right over the hill from Santa Cruz, which is a big, area for Harinam, Sankirtan, Kirtan, everything. Big tourist area. Bathrooms are nice, clean, 25 cents for a shower. Yeah. So very nice. But what are you going to do? Okay. Yeah. We found out there was so much to do. You take this hike, and we came down to this nice place in the river and everything else, and had prasadam, and then we were bringing back all kinds of different things for our altar. We made this really incredible altar with things sticking up there. Then the kids started making a fortress back up behind these rocks and throwing rocks at each other and stuff. Don't throw rocks. Yeah. And in the evening, when we got a little calmed down, we'd read and stuff, sitting out there, nice fresh atmosphere, no distractions. Then got a little darker, we couldn't read. We'd do kirtan chanting. Then we go for a walk around chanting japa and looking at everybody else's residence like that. Some people had these mobile homes with satellite dishes on top. They pull it in there. Deep dark well on wheels, had a satellite dish. Yeah, he looked inside, they had pool tables, and so they were sitting there like with their electrical hookup, their sewer hookup, their pool table, satellite dish. Other people had tents that would hold like 14 people. It was very interesting walking around, and no alcohol. There was no alcohol allowed there and stuff. So it's very interesting. Everybody's leaving. Wow, there was just so many things we didn't experiment, we didn't try, we didn't go here, want to come back next year. So many things to do. And when he came back the next year, everybody saw everybody else remembering, and the kids were howling because they got a different campsite, and they couldn't go back to their fortress and see if the things they buried were still there and stuff. So this is a spiritual world. It says here he wants to take shelter. He's free from all material desires, but that's a pretty boring situation, right? Free from all the material desires. What do you do then? Then you take shelter of Krishna, and Krishna has spiritual desires, which means desires that are eternal, ever increasing, full of variety, knowledge, like that. So what does he say? For so long I have been pained by troubles in this world. No, that's the wrong one. Yeah. By troubles in this world, and have been burning with lamentation. How many people in this lifetime have lamented for something? Nobody here. No, not me. Never lamented like that. Yeah, yeah. How many people here have done things so stupid they just cannot they become embarrassed when they remember them like that? Oh my God, did I ever say that? Like that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. How many people here ever take the long chance? I heard that blues song one time. Anybody ever take the long chance? Yeah, I took the long chance. Hare Krishna, Draupadi, right? Let go of her sari and put her hands in the air. Just said, Haribo. Are you there? Yeah, I really want to know. Yeah, yeah. So this is the burning with lamentation. Our where I live, our home, my home. So what do we call these things? Mobile homes. It's an old mobile home thing, And our handyman refuses to come and work on it anymore. every time he was coming, he would say, "Just sell this thing. What is the guy keeping this thing for? He's a miser or something, So finally, whenever I call him, he doesn't answer my calls anymore, So on. So I got to do it now. So anyway, the hot water or the cold water valve on the shower just stopped working. It would just pop over, and you couldn't turn it off, and this and that. So I finally called a professional plumber. The guy came out with his gigantic truck and they looked at the whole thing, and he pulled off the back of it. And he said, "Well, you can't replace these. You got to replace. They don't make these anymore. Single taps, only they combined ones. And if you get that, you're going to have to replace the entire shower. And how much it's going to cost? Well, we can probably give it to you for about $2,000. Okay, wow, for one water tap. So finally, I'm talking to the guy, and I said, "Can you just clip it off?" And we call it, clip it off and block it off. In the beginning, he was kind of upset because he didn't know what I was. Orangutans are skeptical of changes in their cages. This is Simon and Garfunkel. Orangutans are skeptical of changes in their cages, and the zookeeper is very fond of rum. Okay, it's the material world. So but after a couple of seconds, he saw I wasn't, crazy or anything. I wasn't going to do anything weird like that. We'll give him a weak handshake or something. Hello. So he started talking, and so many guys, can relate to brahmachari life, to monastic life. Oh, you live here by yourself, and what do you do? And okay, wow, you haven't got to shave every day and stuff. Wow, okay. Oh, yeah, you cook for yourself. So he started getting a nice relationship. He said, "Yeah, I could cut it off so that later on, if you wanted to do something." Then after he left, we paid him like $40 just to show up. $60 for the work. Was $100 to cut the thing off and put it there. And I also gave him a book and talked about it. Okay, so he was happy, and I think he gave me his minimum price on the thing like that. So then we got away. Then I was realizing they didn't had to replace the whole thing, but I could have asked him to put in like an outside water faucet. And the guy probably would have said, "Well, that's kind of weird. Never done that." Yeah, it'll work. Yeah, I guess it will work. But he's gone, right? So I'm always thinking about that. My God, now the bathtub only has hot water. I got to take cold water from the other thing, mix it in my bucket. Okay, it's a brahmachari life, independence. Yes, yeah. So that's my latest lamentation. I haven't got over that one yet. If I just ever thought of that, it could have got the guy put a cold water outside faucet in there. Oh, they make those. Yeah. So, what is the cricket in the forest of material enjoyment? All you Sarvabhauma, all you Sarvabhaumadas. There's a forest of material enjoyment. There's a snake in the back of the thing, the tiger. The cricket, cricket. You can't find out where it is. It's always disturbing your sleep. This is criticism by other people. Everybody in this world is being criticized. Did you hear? Sarvabhauma eats fruit in bed. Oh, I didn't know that. Bananas too? Yeah. It's like, and then you add, Hanumatpresaka Swami, he has a comb. He combs his sika. Oh yeah. It's ivory comb. Yeah. So everybody in this material world is everybody subjected to this unfair criticism. And when you try and find out where it is, you cannot find out where it started. Well, actually, I heard it from so and so. Well, I heard it. Everybody, like this and that. So Maya will always irritate us. Dukkalayam ashashvatam. What does that mean? This material world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Yeah, a place of distress and unsteady, ashashvatam. Two things you can count on is you're always going to suffer, and you can't count on anything. That's the only thing you can count on. The only thing that's for sure is you can't be sure of anything. That's what it means. You know? So we're going around this material world, you know, and always going to suffer. You know? Is that good? You like that? How can you appreciate that as a devotee? Because you'll never become attached. Yeah? Somebody goes into prison, changes his mind. I made a mistake. I want to apologize. I want to correct my life. You know. And after a while, he likes the prison. There's baseball and this and that, and there's certain people you can hang out with. So are the prison authorities going to let him become happy in prison? No. They're going to always keep some irritation there, so the guy will want to get out. You know. So he won't forget that this is a miserable place. So Maya is always, you know, thank you, yeah. How long should we stay in the material world? Huh? Yeah. Actually, as soon as we can get out, right? Yeah. So Socrates said the philosopher is always happy when he can leave this body because he'll go to a better world. He said, but we can't commit suicide. Right? Yeah. So when the opportunity comes, even half a chance comes, he says, yeah, okay. So I'm happy they want me to take the poison, you know. Yeah, not disturbed. I'm going to go to a better place. You know, you guys want to stay here? Okay. You know. So this is philosophical attitude that, you know, if you're living a good life, our next life is better. If we have service here, that's something else. You know? One devotee, Chandradas, he works in the Snake River maximum security prison. To get in, you have to either rape somebody, murder somebody, or maybe be an arsonist. Few arsonists are also allowed in. You know? So when you go in there for programs, you realize everybody here has either murdered somebody, you know, or raped somebody. You know, they're all big, amazing. You know, there's an initiated devotee in there, like that. Comes to programs, yeah. Other people, yeah. So, but he's a psychologist. Other people kind of get irritated with their job and doing it for the money. They pay people, but he actually derives real satisfaction from his job. And he says he sees how he really helps people, because there are a lot of options in there, how you're going to live and what you're going to do and how you're going to get out and stuff. You know? So he actually, you know, when it's time to quit, sometimes he stays over and finishes off a couple extra cases without even being paid for it. You know? You know? So same way, you know, get out of this world, you know, this illusion. But if we got some service here, whew, you know, then, you know, hang around. The Pandavas didn't have any service when Krishna left, so they were gone within a very short time. You know, describes how Yudhishthira just folded his body up. He folded the earth element into the water element into the fire element into the space element. Missed one there. Yeah, the air element, and the air into space, the space into his mind, the mind into the Mahatattva, and ceased to be conscious of his body anymore. Maybe a little bit, tiny bit, just to head north until the whole thing just dropped. You know, nice, annihilated. You know. So Muchakunda, what does he do after he finishes his prayers and Krishna thanks him and blesses him? Then what does he do? He comes out of the cave. Sukhamambalates Krishna. Comes out of the cave and heads north. You know, he comes out of the cave and he sees everything is pygmy size. He says, oh my God, it must be Kali Yuga, because he's a bigger guy. You know, so he heads north to Gandhamadhan mountain and just sits down there to finish off whatever little karma is left in his life after seeing Krishna. You know. So, for so long I have been pained by troubles in this world and have been burning with lamentation. You know, my 6 enemies, which I guess it doesn't say, maybe the 6 senses, 6 senses, hunger, thirst, lamentation, by the senses, are never satiated, and I can find no peace. Therefore, O giver of shelter, O supreme soul, please protect me. O Lord, in the midst of danger, I have by good fortune approached your lotus feet, which are the truth, and which thus make one fearless and free from sorrow. Yeah. What happens to an impious person when he's in danger? Does he seek shelter of Krishna? No. So many isms, ideas, concepts. The time of death, people who've almost devotees, I know one devotee actually almost died, Gitanagari. So the mind is just looking for, the mind is always looking for some shelter. Oh yeah, well if I have a cigarette, it'll be okay. Yeah, if I call up that friend, I can talk. Maybe we can go bowling tonight. Your mind is looking for different memories, connections. The time of death, it starts looking through them. Well, you can go here. I can't go anywhere. I'm dying. Well, you can do this. I can't do that. I'm dying. So the mind can go really fast. You see people say, I saw my whole life flash in front of me. Yeah, because your mind is looking for some shelter like that. And if you have nothing but impious memories, then you'll pick out one of those, the best of a bad bargain, and in your next lifetime you'll be a lion. Yeah. You remember the lion in the zoo, and he when you were a child, he growled, and this all your life in your heart has just been there, kind of bouncing around the back, and nothing ever was like that. At one time, that lion growled. How big is a lion? If there's a lion right here, how big would he be? Like that, right? Yeah. Sitting down, And how big is the lion's mouth? Like this. Yeah, big. Yeah, big enough to take your entire body. Boromandir Pujari Diya. Radharani ki jai. Madhava ki jai. Parthasarthi ki jai. Yeah. And how big are his claws? How big are his claws? Just the claws themselves. Think about that big, no? Yeah. They hang him around the neck, so you see them hanging. Yeah. So here he is. Yeah. And he hasn't eaten for 4 days. Poop! He just pops right in here, and he looks like that. Yeah. that one smells the best. I get to pick. I get to pick my lunch here like that. Yeah. Ah! Everybody screams and perspires and immediately produces an intense, fragrant aroma. Yeah. One time I saw this black and white picture, maybe like 1937 or something. Some people had gone to Africa, and this lion came right out of the bush, the jungle, and he was standing up like this, on his hind legs. And he looked exactly like a human being whose body had been distorted, like he was standing up, like he had these really powerful muscles here. And his chest was like compressed, and the legs were bent, but it was just, his face was just this rage, anger, selfishness, like that and stuff. His face, you could see, was just like a totally insane person, trim, lean, powerful, just like, just forget it. And then you got, usually they'll jump at you out of the bushes or something, and so you've got like basically just time to turn and shoot, or else it's you or him. So this is the material world, and when we are fearful, which is very, very good, then our mind looks for shelter, and off all we have, whatever we got. Again, maybe some child had this little child in the zoo, the giant lion just ran at the bars and growled, and you took it very deeply. One time, I was out with the Gurukula boys in Vrindavan. In the afternoon, they would give me some of the kids to go out and take it, and I was kind of supervising. They would play at the Goshala. And one of the kids was digging in the dirt with a stick, and quite by accident, it flipped up and hit another kid in the face right next to me. Little kids, maybe like about 8 years old, 7 years old. Hit the other kid in the face, And the second kid took the stick and started whipping the other kid in the face in anger. This is a spontaneous anger and frustration reaction, but hitting him like that and stuff, other kid, So my intelligence was, running. So I grabbed the second kid and was beating the first kid and pulled him away and just shook him and said, "Don't ever do that," and pushed him away, And he wanted to be forgiven because it was a spontaneous reaction and he didn't really do it. The other kid who had been beaten was looking at me and seeing am I going to have shelter from this person or not? The whole thing is like an icon. And I realized I could not forgive the kid for doing it, because then he would let himself off lightly. Well, I couldn't do it. And maybe sometime in the future when something happens like that, he just lets his mind go and kills somebody. Instead of whipping them in the face with a stick, he just pulls a knife and stabs them to death. So I could see that I couldn't let him off that easy. I had to let him accept way down deep, you never do this, right? Way deep in the heart, the instruction is there. And the thing is, even if something happens like this, you never respond with violence to a situation like that, And so, so he wanted Iskcon. I said, no, I chased him away. And, and as we were walking back to the ashram, he came up and wanted to take my hand. And I could see that he's accepted it. And he thought about it and accepted it as I took his hand. It's okay. Everything was okay. It was a very, interesting experience, And so I see these people now. I don't you remember me? I was there and stuff. Oh my God, yeah, you're like full-size guy now and everything else and so on. Yeah. And different people tell me, you don't know. Hansaduta said, the Prabhupada said, spiritual master, any Brahmin, any devotee, gives Bhagavad Gita classes, chants Hare Krishna, but through him, Krishna does many things. So we don't know. If we're purified, then all day long, Krishna will be using us in a general sense and even specific incidents and causing people to remember things and stuff. So I see people, kids, whatever, that come and say, I remember, I want to thank you for this or that or something. So by coming to class, chanting Hare Krishna, we're becoming useful tools. Okay? And Mukunda, all he's asking for is basically liberation at this point. No? Yeah. He's taken shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, which award fearlessness, liberation, and the opportunity to go up to Krishna's thighs and his waist and up like that. His feet are the basis of everything. Shantaras is the basis of everything. There's nobody more in Shantaras than the gopis. Their Shantaras is unbelievable. It's Braja Shantaras. In Vrindavan, what is in Shantaras? Who is in Shantaras in Vrindavan? Not the gopis, huh? The trees? The cows, yeah. Krishna's flower garland hanging right around his neck. The flute's in Shantaras also. Maybe mixed with some other things. But but that's Vrindavan Shantaras. Shantaras in Vrindavan, So any comments then about these prayers by here? Yeah. Yes, Mataji, yeah. 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 Or maybe even previous lifetimes, they were strong enough. Yeah.
So I was reflecting on these words, and I remember my father passed away in 2013, and I went to his bedside and put him back on the floor. I chanted Hare Krishna for like 12 hours straight.
Wow.
I was still chanting. My sisters came and they put the music of Sinatra. My dad loved Sinatra.
Okay.
But he also was a very pious man and came to Kalashandidana and met my spiritual master, Prasada, who wore many Mama garments. But when my sister put that on, I begged her, please, this will bind him. Please, I begged her, don't play this music.
Yeah.
Because this will bind him to memories of his lifetime. Let me chant.
Yeah.
So in that way, she was very kind and
He might take birth in Maharloka or Gandharva Loka. You go up. Yeah. Somebody. That's the thing. As ordinary people are, as soon as you talk. I mean, I was talking to one professor at MTSU. What's it called? MTSU, Murphy Burr, Middle Tennessee State University. It's the oldest university in Tennessee. And she was a Christian lady, everything else. She was doing a program for training state teachers from these rural areas, everything else, in multi-ethnic classrooms, and about different cultures. And she'd have Muslim people come and stuff. And so mostly they were open. Some of them were just total, what's the word, rednecks, as they would call themselves, hillbillies, like that. They call themselves. But most of them were actually interested, and she presented it, Another lady was there, was also religious, and her husband. And then I started talking about death, and they all went, "Oh, don't talk about that." But you're spiritual people, yeah. But it's only some conception, bodily conception, that we'll die and go to heaven, and Grandma will be there, and the dog will be there, and we'll have a good barbecue, and Jesus will be somewhere, but he won't come to the barbecue because that might disturb things, yeah. So different levels of consciousness, but devotees. It's the whole thing. We're not afraid of this. We're looking at it as a problem that can be solved. It's not like just totally paralyzing. Yeah, it's something you got to get ready for, and quite an opportunity. Yeah. So I myself, at least, I hear so many stories about near-death experiences and people's things. In Peru, there's one Rupanuga Chaitanya Das, disciple of. What's his name? Ajay, wait tomorrow. It'll come back. Yeah. It'll come back. I forgot. Okay. Anyway, disciple. Yeah, Maharaj. And he's got some mystical nature. In Peru is a lot of it there floating around. It's just, it's just kind of common thing. And even Nobel laureates and big scientists, you've been there. Okay, yeah, it's just okay. Like New Mexico. Yeah. We don't mess around with shamans, Yeah. So anyway, he had brain cancer and going to die. Devotees gave him an Ayurvedic book. He applied the principles and saved himself, to the surprise of all the local people. And he said, "Okay, I got to dedicate my life to this." So he started studying. He became very, very good Ayurvedic doctor. He's my doctor basically and stuff. Incredible. So then he had two girls who were like psychic to some degree. So he had, for example, one of our friends from Miami had throat cancer. "You're going to die. Give us $100,000. We'll keep you alive for 3 more months with chemotherapy. You'll go crazy probably, but don't worry, you'll be alive." Okay, yeah. So come to Peru. It's cheaper, So he had completely purified it, completely got rid of it. He came back with no cancer, which the doctors again didn't want to hear about how it happened. Yeah, they didn't. So anyway, when he was lying there, he had him lying in the thing. He told me he'd had 7 biopsies. They just punch a hole and take samples, 8. And then nobody in Peru knew about this at all, So anyway, this Jai Krishna Das was lying there, and he had this other girl. He said, "This is so-and-so, Maria, and this and that. I can do out-of-the-body stuff." So she came out of the body, and she went into his mouth or something, And she said, "Oh, it's so contaminated, heat and poison, everything here. And there's the different cuts, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. He said at that point he was like trying to find out where the dickens she was. He could kind of feel it, her presence. So then she started cleaning everything up. It took about half an hour. Then she came out and she was totally zonked. So then Nuga had to give her the breathing and giving her juice, and then $150 for which probably she'd earned it, for next day and a half. You can't do anything, So anyway, they happens. They do it. So then he said his sister was dying. Rupanuga's sister was dying. And he said, "They got to do something. It's my sister." Okay. So she asked one of the girls to come over. And he told her, he said, "Do you know this hospital?" Yeah, okay, and stuff. And so if you know the image, the ideas, these are reality. She'd been there. Said, "Okay, try and find this room." And she's meditating. And she said, "I found the room." "Okay, yeah, your sister like this." And yeah, your sister's there. Okay. And she died like within a short time after that. The actual hour was there and stuff. So she said, like, Rupanuga, my God, there's almost no boundary whatsoever. I don't have to go in through the nose or the mouth or anything. It's almost just I could, penetrate anything. Okay, I'm going in. And it said, okay, she's unconscious. She's dancing. She's dancing. Yeah. And he said it was amazing because she didn't know her, you know. And she said her sister from the time she was a little girl just loved to dance. Yeah, yeah. So where is this coming from? It's not coming from this lifetime. Yeah. Something is there, and you get dragged into different lifetimes because of your desires. Almost all these deep impressions, when do they occur? During the deep impressions in this lifetime, when do they occur? Yeah? During this lifetime. Childhood. Yeah. You go to Manipur, before they had incredible childhood. You're a baby, a little kid till you're 6 years old, you're a baby, you know. Girls don't even get married until like 22 or something. But they have the emotional and physical development of like a 16 or 17-year-old girl. The whole thing is so much slower, everything else. So childhood is just fun, games, protected, my mommy, my daddy, no divorce. It's just almost no childhood traumas whatsoever. I asked Damodar Maharaj, is there anybody crazy in Manipur? He said, yeah, in Lubak. It was like one, well, yeah, there's one crazy guy. Yeah, there's a crazy guy. We got a crazy guy. But there's nobody. It was so mentally adjusted, almost no money in many ways. But boy, it was such a When I came back to Calcutta, it was like unbelievable. I couldn't really even stand it, like how, you know, the coming down from this. Every single house had a hand loom, about maybe like, about this long, to sit in the house. It was the house, patio, walls, and then a mandap with a roof over it where you would sit and watch the kirtans, Tulsi in the middle, and they had a hand loom there. So the kids are playing in the courtyard. They're not going to hurt themselves, you know, okay, whatever. And ladies would just sit there, you know, and just, you'd be talking, and then they would loom all these beautiful chutters and cloths and stuff, and the patterns were unbelievable. So everybody was walking around with dhotis and chutters made by their sister, their mother, their aunt. Yeah, it was just, and they made it for them. And so people were coming and giving these things while I was leaving. It was like, how can I come back to Calcutta, you know? Yeah. Yeah. So in this childhood, so many times when the airplanes crash, these big, you know these pilots, they're the boss. You know, I'm the boss, and they're telling everybody what to do. When the airplane's crashing, so many times what they'll be doing is calling, mommy. They'll be calling. It's like when the terror was too much, they're calling, their mother comes and saves them. You know, there's so many times, big tough cries. You know. That was all superficial. Yeah. All the rest of the stuff you acquired was superficial. The stuff that's really there is from when you're very open, sensitive. You acquire so many things when you're a child, you know, or else reinforce them from a previous lifetime. You notice when you wake up, you have some incredible dream. You just wait like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, you'll forget it, you won't be able to remember it when you wake up. If immediately you refresh it, like write it down, think about it, go through it again, you can then catch the memory. You know? So same way, things from previous lifetimes. When you're a little kid, everything else, why very important with small children, everything else, until 3 years old especially, you know, memories are there, access is there. You know, I mean, this is scientific studies on this. Yeah, access is there to previous lifetimes. And about 2 years old, it starts. You start forming your impression of what's happening. Until 2 years old, you're not aware of what's really happening. It's kind of like when you do magic shows. You know, you make things disappear. It has doesn't impress little kids at all, because as far as they're concerned, everything is appearing and disappearing. It's kind of. You know, you make a whole lunch appear magically. Okay, that's what happens normally for my life. It appears magically. I don't know. It's like, you know, so you got to do something else for magic shows for little kids. You know? So until about the terrible twos, right? The terrible twos. Yeah, that's when you start to form your life. Who am I? I am this body. So until then, so many things you give. In Tibetan cultures like this, where they do this, they'll stimulate them. They'll show them this, show them that, show them this, show them the coin, show them the Bhagavatam, show them what else we got, the musical instruments, and they're attracted. You know, yeah. One little kid, that was the name, Lagu Bhagavatamrita. His son was just attracted by cars. Any car in the store, he had to have it, or it was World War III. You know, it was just like, he had like, I showed me his table. The table when the kid was like, you know, regular coffee table covered with cars. You know, he'd go by and look at the airplane, and once he understood it wasn't a car, forget it. You know, it was nothing. You know, And he was born on a street which was named after a famous race car driver. Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's, yeah, exactly. Because you grab what you can. Fellow, all you get is carry-on baggage: a cane, a blanket or overcoat, a briefcase, and a carry-on bag. It's exactly what a sannyasi or a devotee needs. A book. What's it called? Yeah, a book bag, a bead bag, a bucket, and beads. No, it's like that's a blanket, a bucket. Okay, okay. It was a big firestorm in Berkeley, San Francisco, and the flames were as tall as this room, moving this fast. Yeah, that's how fast it was moving and stuff. And it was just like unbelievable. The wind was blowing. The devotees were ready to take the deities and run down into the ocean. But fortunately, it turned right when it got to the top of the Berkeley Hills. One interesting side story was a Treya Rishi. He's a Prabhupada made him the GBC of material affairs. He was very rich, everything else. So he was living up in the Berkeley Hills on a cul-de-sac, maybe like 6 houses. So after the whole thing was over and cleaned up, he invited Swarup Damodar Maharaj to lunch. I came over there. I know him as a friend, And you could see one house that had come up and burned the house up, and other ones that had been singed, and the fire came right there, So I said, Treya, when the fire was coming, what did you take? Your money or your deities? Treya Rishi, rich guy. What did you take, your money or your deities? He said, Prabhu, I grabbed my ass and I ran. Yeah, okay. So, and other people didn't make it out. Some people got caught in their cul-de-sacs and got burned to death. Okay. So anyway, this is like you say, the time of death. This is like have it ready. So what did people grab who had a couple moments? They were very interesting. Went through the whole thing. They didn't take. Money is pretty much, unless it's a lot of money or something, like you're a drug dealer or something. They took pictures, they took trophies, they took special things that were memories, and stuff, and those were irreplaceable. They wanted to kick the memories of who they were and stuff, Yeah. Maybe even something they even hate, somebody they hated or something, Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God. Yes. Yes. Oh, God, yeah. Yes. It's not the money. The money is important, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And then once you go through that experience, and it's always there. That behind, I mean, okay, I lost everything, but then I'll talk to somebody. Some policeman will know, okay, this and that. He'll probably believe my story, somebody else, and then I'll get a ride to Delhi, and I'll go to get a replacement passport. Yeah. Did you get it back? Yeah. Oh, yeah. In Vrindavan, Radharani and Krishna are in control. Yeah, they show you that. Yeah. So this is so Muchakunda is praying. For so long I have been pained by troubles in this material world and have been burning with lamentation. My 6 enemies are never satiated. Nila Madhava ki jai, Gopal ki jai. Wow. And I can find no peace. Therefore, O giver of shelter, O Supreme Soul, please protect me, O Lord. In the midst of danger, I have the good fortune. It's not good fortune. We build our good fortune by years and years of chanting and everything else, and then you pray to Krishna, okay, I approached your lotus feet, which are the truth, and which thus make one fearless and free from sorrow. Finish off, what's the guy's name? He was Santana professor of philosophy at Harvard University. Bertrand Russell's guru, nice guy. Alfred North Whitehead. He was a Brahman realized guy, Paramatma. And he said, I remember I always apply it, he said, there is no inevitability as long as there is a willingness to contemplate the present. So you're in this situation, I'm going to die, I am dead, You say, okay, notice what's going on, and just contemplate it, and you see, okay, I could call up, and maybe they haven't. If I haven't, they used to, there is a reality, okay, sat, we can know it, chit, and it's fun, ananda. You think, oh, I lost my passport. What fun. My identity, my money. A whole new adventure is going to happen now. I can tell people I lost my... You go to Vrindavan, you have these T-shirts, right? It says, I lost my heart in Vrindavan. We're thinking, making up one that says, and my shoes, and my camera, and my passport. Like that. Yeah. You can sell them. Hey, Prabhu, yeah. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. So everybody, benediction. We're going to go to Peru now and hope we have a big... Bless us, we have a really good symposium. We'll come back with the news. We'll tell you how your blessing worked when we come back. Thanksgiving Day weekend, we'll be here. Hare Krishna.